Hi, I'm Erica from my phone and welcome to another video. Today we are getting into Lucy Dacus's 2021 third studio album, Home Video. Now I wanted to react to this when it came out, and then I think life just got in the way. I was working one of the worst jobs I've ever had, and I didn't have any time to react to it when it came out, and I honestly didn't have too much time following that. And I'm so happy that I finally found the moment to sit down and film this reaction. It's something I've been really excited to get into ever since I heard Historian from her and also her work in Boy Genius. I heard this album is very good and I'm ready to finally give it the time to let it all wash over me. Thank you for requesting this video, and anyway, let's get into it. Track number 1 is Hot and Heavy. Being back here makes me hot in the face? Oh, a little flirtatious. Ooh, the way that guitar just went in. Nice. Oh, your parents wouldn't answer these questions? What kind of questions? Ooh. Now it's been fast into slow, which is a little different. I wish I was over it. So that was Hot and Heavy, and what a way to start the album. It was definitely a good groovy track. I really liked how it picked up for like the second iteration of the verse or chorus, and then it kept alternating between being fast and slow, kind of when you are in a hot and heavy moment, how you'll get caught up in the moment, it'll be fast, it'll be really alive, and then it slows down and you chill. It has the ebbs and flows of a very steamy encounter, and I think that was a really cool way to kind of replicate that in the instrumentation. This song can be about a lot of things, and Lucy herself has said it's about a lot of things, whether it is her thinking of an old flame of hers from when they were younger and then they outgrew each other and no longer are together, or if it's talking about kind of outgrowing yourself. It is talking about looking at when you were young and how decisions were made or personalities changed, or overall we see the pre-evolution and now you're an evolved person, they're an evolved person, and you might not recognize each other as much now, or you might not even recognize your own self from back then. I do like this song as an opener. I think it sets a tone that we are going to be very introspective. We are going to get some very thought-provoking lyrics. And I'm already a little bit in my feels because I have a feeling that some of these memories are going to be relatable to me in a way that's just gonna make me overthink. Track number 2 is Christine. You're falling asleep. Not yet. It is 12:19 a.m. right now as I'm filming this, but not yet. Ooh. That strumming the guitar just came suddenly. There might be better, but you don't feel worth it. Oh. They'd be the first kid to never hurt another. Oh, that sounds rare. Oh, you'd object. Oh. So that was Christine, and that is a song apparently about Lucy's friend Christine, who was dating a guy that Lucy didn't approve of, and apparently when she wrote it, she didn't realize that it was very queer, and the idea of, I would rather lose my dignity than lose you to somebody who won't make you happy. Girl, I think you like her. But yeah, the song is very queer. It's definitely very introspective and thinking about, again, the decisions that we make over time. How if you were to raise a kid, you hope that they won't make the same mistakes that you did. And flashing back to Hot and Heavy, that there are mistakes and there are differences in how you were and how you grew up and how you are now. And so I think those first two songs definitely are tying things very neatly in terms of the what ifs. Where could you go? Where have you gone? What paths did you take? What paths did you not take? What if something was different? And so I'm really curious to see how we go as we continue. Is that going to be a continuous theme, or are we going to divert into something different? I'm intrigued to find out with track number 3, First Time. Like all the other songs, it will be my first time hearing it. Ooh, this kind of seems like extraterrestrial. Okay, let's get started. Starfish on the kitchen floor. Ooh, I've been there. You gave me your hands because you didn't know what to do with them. Oh, let's learn. Maybe I could take us back to there. Oh, she is still nostalgic and thinking of the past. You can't feel it for the first time, the second time? Ooh, okay. Very much holding on to the original memory. I can't undo what I've done, but I wouldn't want to. Okay, no regrets. We'll learn to ride the ebb and flow. Okay, go with emotions. So that was First Time, and that discusses Lucy's, or the speaker's, early experiences being intimate and romance and having a first love, and how you can't really recapture that exact feeling a second time. That once the first time's done, that has changed into the second time, the third time, the umpteenth time. I personally disagree with that, just based on my own experiences with my first love, first romance, first time with everything. I think I have recaptured that again because I'm not with the first person I ever loved anymore. And so, I don't know. I think that could be true for her perspective. I just think it's different than my perspective. I do like the song. I think it has a good groove to it. I think the idea of not living with regrets is really important. I think some of the specific details of her first encounters will probably be different than mine, given that she is a woman who I think primarily or exclusively loves women, and I'm bi. So we're just different people, and that's okay. I don't necessarily relate as much to this song, but I do think her messaging is fair, and the groove, again, is real nice. Track number 4 is VBS. In the summer of 07, oh, what a good summer. I think I actually broke my toe that summer. In the evening, everyone went to worship. Oh, she grew up in a God-fearing community. Reaching for God. Yep, God-fearing. Not convinced the reason's a good one. Been there, too. Ooh. Alright, give it a little metal edge. So that was VBS, and that stands for Vacation Bible School, because this song takes place in Lucy Dacus's youth when she was a God-fearing Christian. I think she might still be religious and still attend some spiritual services, but she was apparently very devout and was trying to get her first boyfriend, who she met at VBS, to really see the light and, you know, get into God more. But he was much more into Slayer and taking substances. Apparently he was snorting nutmeg. I heard that in the song, like when it was playing, but I didn't react to it because I didn't think that that line was what I thought it was. I thought it was something that was like, did she say snorting nutmeg? Yes, she actually did, Eric. So yeah, this song is interesting. I think I will have to hear it in the context of the album again to see if I like it. It definitely fits within the context, but I am not someone who was raised Christian really much at all. We celebrate Christmas, but I was raised by 2 moms. We really didn't go to church services much at all. It's much more about the season of giving than all the Bible stuff. So the song's not super relatable to me, but I will give it another chance, especially I think in headphones with the rock edge coming out. I think I could rock along to it, but I think it's a song, again, that I need to hear it more than the initial time. Track number 5 is Cartwheel. This feels like a lullaby. You're not prepared for what the future brings. That feels ominous, Lucy. Don't tell me that. Eat lightning on a summer night. Were you taking notes with Mitski? Ooh, that was some big drum hits to lead back to nothing. Betrayal like I never felt before. Can't believe a word you say. What happened between them? That was Cartwheel, and that song is about growing up too fast and how Lucy felt like all her friends wanted to grow up and be adults much quicker than she did. They wanted to be an adult when she still wanted to be a kid and live in that moment. And she felt betrayed when they started being around or intimate with other people. And yeah, she felt hurt. And she was not ready for the changes of growing up and what the future would hold. Even if it's benevolent, it's still a black hole. You have no idea what will happen, and it will tear apart your past and your present. The song to me felt more like a lullaby in terms of its production. It did kind of get me into just hearing what the lyrics are saying, and I feel like that's been a recurring theme. I feel like I'm just intently listening on each thing that she has to say rather than, talking through it all. So I think I need to hear this one again. I totally understand the sentiment. I feel like I've been both parts of it, of wanting to grow up so I could be an adult and make my own decisions, but at the same time wanting to still be young and still think youthfully and not be like, oh, well, I'm an adult and they're kids now. I still feel like I have a very youthful personality. I feel like I am childlike in a lot of ways, but I am also still an adult that can make my own decisions and stuff like that. So I think trying to keep that whimsical, good-natured spirit that most kids do and keeping it into your adult life, I think, is the way I'm trying to find that balance. I also think there's a big pressure for women in particular to grow up faster because, they have to be the older sister, they have to be the mother, or they want to have their first relationship, they want to have their first love, they want to do all these things. And I feel like a lot of media that's aimed towards young teens especially promotes how cool adulthood would be for women. And so I can see why a lot of our friends might have felt that way and wanted to grow up so fast. Kind of shows that even though this is Lucy Dacus' personal memories, it also is still grounded within the socio-political systems of the United States and how the media and how politics and how the system will affect and be reflected in what individuals within her life are doing and feeling. Track number 6 is Thumbs. Okay. Okay, 5th grade, 9th grade, 8 years. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's a gory image. Okay, sing it, Lucy. You two are connected by a pure coincidence. Ooh. Ooh. That was Thumbs, and this song is about a father, quote unquote, who is very absent in the speaker's friend's life. And Lucy goes there to support them. That friend really just grins and bears it. And it's just such an awful, awkward encounter. And Lucy wishes she could just tell this friend, hey, you do not owe him anything. You do not need to put up with all of this. Just because you're related doesn't mean anything if he's not treating you like family. This contained a couple images I don't like thinking about, like her pressing on his irises until they burst. No, thank you. That honestly gives me a bit of like the heebie-jeebies. I read that apparently that's an irrational fear of Lucy's, and I think it is also an irrational fear of mine now. So thank you, Lucy, for passing that on to me. I think the story is powerful, but I don't know if it's one I'm going to want to listen to much. I don't have a father figure in my life. It's not because he chose not to necessarily be a part of it. It's that he was a donor. And I, again, have two moms. So I think we're just in different life paths, her and I. And so I don't know if this song is necessarily that relatable to me, but just because someone is family doesn't mean you owe them anything. I will just say that straight up. People need to earn your love and your trust and your kindness and your generosity. They don't just get it. They don't. Track number 7 is Going, Going, Gone. Also the name of one of my favorite EPs. Thanks, Hemlock Springs. We started flirting after class. Braces brackets locking. That's such an interesting way to describe a sunset. Oh no, Daniel. Oh, there's a little bit of something going on. It's a little studio moment. So that was Going, Going, Gone. And that had a bit of nostalgia and also some commentary, with the nostalgia being about this, high school couple just trying to see what happens. They trade jackets, they meet at this park bench, and then it gets into this beautiful environmental metaphor of the sun going down eventually, but kind of leaving with a bang with that bright red sky. And then it goes into talking about how people grow up and they might become worse versions of themselves. They might have become corrupted. They might not be as kind to people that they fancy, that they might not be as kind to themselves with substances and other things. And then they might have a kid someday and they might pass on the anger and the frustration and that corruption onto them. That person will go out and make their own mistakes and also might be corrupted in their own special way. So it keeps on going and going on until suddenly the person is gone. I enjoyed hearing the story of the song, and I think there's some beautiful images in there. I don't think sonically it is the one that stuck out to me. It didn't really captivate me as much, but I appreciate the sentiment of it. I think it's a song I could see myself vibing to if I was listening to the whole album, but I don't know if it's one I would pick out on its own. Track number 8 is Partner in Crime. Oh, there is a filter in her voice. This sounds so not like Lucy, but okay. Oh, that percussive set of hits. Lay down in the middle of the street. Bad advice, Lucy. Bad advice. Do you love me? Do you love me not? Oh, we are unsure. You were my partner in crime. It was a welcome waste of time. Oh. Oh, I like that. Repetition. Outro. Wow, wow, wow. So that was Partner in Crime, and that was a really interesting song. I liked the distortion on it, and I found out that because her vocals were just not giving the day that she did it, they used auto-tune, and then they ended up really liking how it was, and that it's a specific choice that makes sense within the context of the song, because the song is about trying to appear more mature and adult for someone in order to be seen as attractive or even just on the market. I think she's lying about being of legal age, which is not cool. Please, adults, if someone seems like they might not be of age, it's better to stay away. The choice of using the vocal distortion is making yourself and your voice a bit more perfect or more attractive for the audience. So I think that is an interesting choice. I feel like this, for me, because this is not as immediately traumatizing as some of the stuff that was in Preacher's Daughter from Ethel Cain, I feel like this is like if Gibson Girl was not as much Gibson Girl, in that it has this indie vibe, it has this cool, very explicit use of auto-tune in it, and it's very Oh, it is an enjoyable song. I really like it production wise and lyrically. I feel this song in terms of just trying to grow up. This is her version of Cartwheel, where everyone else is growing up. She's feeling left behind. I feel like this is her trying to be like the other people in Cartwheel and actually try to grow up maybe a little too fast. I definitely had my share of moments of trying to grow up too fast. I know it's often just a simple human feeling sometimes to want to be someone and belong somewhere where it's not time for you to belong yet. Track number 9 is Brando. Bad idea. Bad advice. Felt. Ooh. Tough critic. You never knew me like you thought you did. Oh. I'll be lucky if I'm your third wife. What? So that was Brando. And that is an interesting song. I like it beat-wise. I thought it had a nice groove to it. And lyrically, it's about this guy that Lucy knew who was very much trying to get her to be into the things that he was interested in, movies and music and a lot of pop culture that she, having moved from a smaller town, did not really know and was not really well acquainted with. She realized over time that he just wanted her to mirror him and that he always said, "Oh, I always know you so well." And really, he didn't, because he didn't really actually care about what her interests were that were aside from the things that he had taught and showed to her. He just wanted a vessel to put all his information in, and I get it. I am in a group chat where we info dump all the time about just things we're passionate about. But the things that we're all sharing about what we are interested in and passionate about, and we know what each other's interests are, and we know when some things are more or less interesting probably to other people. But we are all deciding to listen to each other on that. But that is not really what is the case here. It seems like it's a very one-sided relationship where he is really just putting all of this on her and she's not really enjoying it much at all. I do enjoy the song. I do think of some people when I hear this song about people who think that they know me a lot better than they do. And I could see myself enjoying this, playing it again, and feeling some sort of comfort and knowing I'm not alone in feeling not represented and not being identified for who I really am. Also, side note, her saying you called me cerebral and now I know would it have killed you to call me pretty instead. It really echoes the line in my head from Hot to Go of call me hot, not pretty, of thinking, oh, you're the intellectual one, oh, or you're like the pretty one. I want to be perceived in many ways. I'm multifaceted. I contain multitudes. And, I think sometimes just being called, oh, like the funny one or the cute one or the intellectual one, it limits how you're seen, and that it really just shows that maybe that is one part of your personality that's being particularly pronounced. If you actually take the time to know someone, you will know most of their personality over time, and you'll see them as more than just that. So I think she feels that if he really cared about her the way that he said he did, and that he knew her as well as he thought he did, then he should know that she is more multifaceted than he gave her credit for. Track number 10 is Please Stay. Please don't make me see these things, the things that they're leaving at their place. I think you're playing out the end of a storyline. Or are they gonna be done? Oh. Get a dog. That is finally good advice, Lucy. Break a vow, make a new one. Ooh, the passing of time. Ooh, you could hear the whimper in her voice as she said that. So it was Please Stay, and that was a very emotional song about trying to keep someone from ending their own life. And pleading with them to please stay. Noting things that would serve as reminders of what that person did to make themselves no longer alive. Like having the dirty dish in the sink or a toothbrush, or just reminders of a person who had lived but is no longer currently living. And then going on to say you can do so many things with your life. You can cut your hair, you can quit your job, you can do all of these things. You could make your life better, you can ruin your life, but please don't end it. Please stay. And so, yeah, this is a really hard song. This is a very tough song. I don't know if I can listen to it routinely. It is a very heavy song about a very heavy topic. It makes sense. I think it's a very well done song. And I think I'm feeling the feels on it right now, like really hard. Ooh, I don't know why it's hitting me really hard, but I think it's a very powerful song and has a very powerful message. If you are considering anything remotely like the person she's speaking about in the song, I will put the hotline down in the description box below. Please get help. You are important. You matter in this world, and you really deserve to spend more time on this planet. Please stay for all of us. Track number 11, last track on this album, Triple Dog Dare. I'm not tired yet. Well, it is 1:39 now, so I am. Ooh, there's a little twinkle in the background. The radio's singing you a song, you know. Oh, I like how she phrased that. You weren't allowed to spend the night because her mom read her palm? What can I say to your mom to let you come outside? Dang. Ooh. Let it hit. What? So what? I'm confused where we're going. You're a chicken if you don't take the triple dog dare? Oh, about living on this boat. Like, that's the dare. Oh, we're really building it now. Oh, they ran away. Nothing worse could happen now. That's where you're gonna end it? So that was Triple Dog Dare, and that is a longer song, but telling us the story of her and a friend she knew back in grade school. She didn't know that she herself was queer, and she didn't know that her friend was queer yet, but her mom suspected that, and she was like, nope, you cannot be around my daughter. And in this story, they run off and steal a boat, and the parents pronounce them missing. They get out of this adolescence. They get out of what was holding them back. Now, that's not true. That's not how the story of real life goes. But as Lucy Dacus herself, songwriting isn't reporting. You can change the story. You don't have to be tied down in a song by what is actually happening in your real life. You can make up things. And I should remember that sometimes, because sometimes I feel like I have to be so true in storytelling, in a song, and you don't have to do that. A song can be about anything. It can be about something that doesn't exist, not even true, not even real, something you hope to happen, something you hope never happens. It can be about anything. That's the beauty of it. It's art. But I think it's a powerful way to end the album, saying that you can change this story. You don't have to stay in your patterns. You don't have to grow up in the same way that your parents did. You can break these cycles, and it can be powerful. And while it might not be based on true experience, I think it shows that while she's been super nostalgic and thinking about her past in this album as a whole, she is ready to move on and see what is next for her in life. With that said, we have finished this album, and I have to say, this is a really powerful album. There's a lot of nostalgia in here. It is a heck of a drug. Let's just say that. It is a very powerful album. There's a lot of messages about the what ifs of the past, or kind of having the last word about situations that may not have ended on the best of terms, or with you getting the last word originally. I feel like Brando might have been that situation where they ended up growing apart and he never really realized the error of his ways. And now she's being like, no, you were not even close to Brando. Bye. Things where she was so young, like in Partner in Crime, she probably didn't realize how toxic and problematic that encounter was at that time. Or in VBS, you know, not really realizing that other people had different things going on in their lives besides God. You know, there are a lot of things in here that are very personal, and I feel grateful that she's willing to be so vulnerable, because I know that a lot of this is based on her personal life. She could have made a bunch of these stories up, but in the way that she promoted the album and the way that she talked about it and how it shows up on Genius Lyrics, it really shows that a lot of it is based on personal experience, and that she's looking at it and kind of being her own historian in a way. If we go back in album, I feel like Lucy at that time was really trying to capture moments in time that not necessarily only involved her, but just are really more historical moments in her life and the lives of her family and her relatives. That's what I distinctly remembered. And here I feel like she is kind of addressing her past, thinking about it through rose-colored glasses, or maybe some red-colored glasses, you know, thinking about things in angry ways and heartbreaking ways and happy ways sometimes, and really like peeling back those curtains and seeing all the different lenses that you can look through your past in, and then eventually at the end moving on and moving forward, which I think is really cool. I also think that intro of Hot and Heavy actually really ties it nicely together. Lucy said that often your opening credits should really kind of show you the direction that a movie or a piece of media should go. And we kind of see as we go along how she's made peace with the fact that she is not the self that she was when she was younger, and that she's moved on, she's grown, she is addressing that and kind of maybe hugging the inner child. But I don't know if it's really a hug. I feel like maybe a handshake, an understanding and a respect, but not necessarily saying that we are the same person, that we are having the same experiences, that we feel the same. And so, yeah, I think this is a very powerful album. I think it will be hard sometimes to listen to all of this. This is a very heavy record if you're listening to all the lyrics. The production choices are, for the most part, really superb. I have really no critiques on it. Writing-wise, I wouldn't ask her to change a thing, and I don't think she should change a thing. I think there are some things we have different perspectives on, some things I have never experienced in my life that have been very influential in her life. And there are certain things that are very influential in my life that I don't think have experience in hers. We just are two different people. I think that means that there will be certain songs that don't necessarily resonate with me, and then there might be some songs that resonate too hard with me, because some experiences we have both gone through. And I think that might mean it's a little bit sensitive for me to listen to. I am actually glad that I waited this long to listen to this project. I feel like it's much more impactful to me right now at 25 than it would have been when it came out when I was 21. I feel like I have grown a lot in the past few years. I feel like I am a different person than I was then. And I think that overall, a lot of these songs hit a lot more now that I am at this age where I kind of both see my past and my future in more even terms than I did when I was 21, when I felt like, oh, everything's ahead of me. I feel like there are some things that are behind me now. And I think that allows you to actually digest it when it feels like there is enough to digest. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier are the songs I love, the standouts ones playing over and over again. Songs in the middle are songs I like. I'll add them to my playlist, but they might not be the top of the top, and songs in the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean it's a bad song. Doesn't mean it can't be your favorite song. Doesn't mean it's not for me, and that's okay. Some of these songs might just be a little too triggering for me, or I might be too sensitive, or they just might not resonate with me. Again, we have lived two different lives, and so I feel like we're going to have different feelings on this, and that's okay. I'm sure I'm going to have different feelings and have had a different life than all of you who are watching this, and thank you for watching this. But yeah, we're going to have different opinions on everything. If you like this video, please like it, comment down below to interact to or do next on my channel. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
Get out of the zone.